Got it? You want a 2,000-word detailed explanation of the first keynote. Being ignored is not rejection. It is redirection written in a motivational, speech-like flow, without headings, without conclusion, and without mentioning Priyanka Chopra's name. Here's the extended piece. Being ignored can feel like the sharpest wound, not because of what is said, but because of what is left unsaid. Silence is heavy. It carries a weight that words sometimes cannot. When someone looks past you, when your presence is dismissed, it creates a storm inside your heart. You begin to question your value. You begin to doubt your place. You wonder if you matter at all. But what if the very thing that feels like rejection is actually a hidden gift? What if being ignored is not the end of your story, but the beginning of a better one? Life has a way of speaking to us through experiences, and sometimes the silence of others is the language it chooses. We think rejection is when someone closes the door in our face, but often it is simply the universe redirecting us toward another path, a path that is bigger, fuller, more aligned with who we truly are. When people ignore you, it might sting, but it is also a sign that your journey is meant to continue elsewhere. It is not a denial of your worth. It is an invitation to discover where your worth truly belongs. Think about this. If every person you ever wanted to notice you gave you their attention, if every room you walked into greeted you with open arms, if every effort was met with immediate applause, you would never stretch beyond your comfort zone. You would never know what you are truly capable of, because you would be too content with approval. But when the applause is absent, when no one is clapping, when your efforts are unseen, that is when you are forced to dig into your inner reserves of strength. That is when you learn that validation is temporary, but purpose is eternal. So often we mistake the silence of others as a statement about us, but in truth, it says more about them. Sometimes people are unable to recognize greatness when it's still in its raw form. They overlook potential because it doesn't yet look like success. They dismiss dreams because they can't see them with their own limited vision. But just because someone cannot see the diamond within you does not mean the diamond isn't there. Diamonds are created in pressure, not in applause. Every time you are ignored, you are being pushed closer to your destiny. Rejection is not a wall, it is a detour sign. You might not understand it in the moment, but later you look back and realize that the silence you once resented was the very thing that set you free. Free from needing permission, free from chasing after those who were never meant to walk with you, free to build a life that is anchored in your own strength. The greatest breakthroughs often come after the deepest moments of being overlooked. Think about the artist who was rejected by publishers until one finally said yes, the entrepreneur whose ideas were ignored until persistence turned them into reality, the dreamer who was dismissed until the dream itself spoke louder than any critic. They were ignored, yes, but they were also redirected, pushed to refine their craft, sharpen their vision, and grow resilient enough to carry the weight of the success that eventually came. When you face silence, it is not a verdict on your value. It is training ground for your strength. Every unanswered call, every overlooked effort, every time you walk into a room and feel invisible, remember this: invisibility is temporary. It forces you to shine from within before the world ever sees you. And when that inner light grows strong enough, it cannot be ignored any longer. Life is not about forcing people to see you. It is about becoming someone who shines so brightly that those who ignored you have no choice but to recognize what they missed. Being ignored pushes you to stop chasing and start building. It forces you to step off the stage of someone else's approval and step into the arena of your own destiny. And when you do that, you realize that rejection was never rejection at all. It was redirection. Every detour has meaning. Every closed door has a purpose. Every silence carries a message. Sometimes being ignored is the very thing that protects you from relationships that would have drained you, from opportunities that would have limited you, from environments that would have stifled your growth. It is not punishment, it is protection. And protection is a blessing, even when it arrives disguised as pain. The truth is, you are not defined by who notices you, who claps for you, or who invites you into their circle. You are defined by the persistence that rises when no one is watching, by the faith that grows when no one is encouraging you, by the vision that stays alive even in the shadows. Those moments of being ignored are shaping you into someone who doesn't need the world's validation to move forward. Rejection hurts, but redirection heals. When you look at your life from a distance, you will see that every time you were ignored, every time someone dismissed you, every time you felt invisible. It was simply the universe moving you away from something smaller and leading you towards something greater. It might not make sense now, but one day you will look back and understand why it had to happen that way. Until then, take the silence as a sign that you are being prepared, a sign that you are being protected, a sign that your path is unfolding exactly as it should. Being ignored does not mean you are unworthy. It means you are destined for something bigger than the eyes currently upon you can see. So hold your head high in the silence. Let the pain refine you, not define you. And when the day comes that your light breaks through, you will realize that every moment of being ignored was not rejection. It was redirection. There comes a moment in everyone's life when they feel unseen, when their efforts go unnoticed, and when their voice seems to disappear into background. It is in those moments that doubt creeps in. You begin to wonder if you are truly valuable, if your existence carries weight, if you have anything worth offering. Attention, or the lack of it, has a way of shaking our confidence. We live in a world that measures success by likes, followers, applause, and recognition. So when attention is absent, it can feel like worth is absent too. But that is a lie. Your worth is not defined by who sees you, who praises you, or who acknowledges you. Worth is intrinsic. It lives in you whether or not the world is paying attention. Think about a diamond buried deep beneath the earth. For years, centuries even, it sits hidden in darkness. No one admires it, no one wears it, no one even knows it exists. But does that make it any less a diamond? Does its lack of attention diminish its value? Of course not. The diamond carries its worth within itself. Its brilliance is not created by the eyes that see it, but by the substance it possesses. In the same way, your worth does not disappear simply because someone fails to notice it. You carry your brilliance within you, independent of attention. The danger comes when we tie our sense of value to external validation. When applause becomes the measure of our significance, we will constantly chase approval, and in chasing it, we lose ourselves. The truth is, no matter how hard you try, there will always be people who overlook you, misunderstand you, or even underestimate you. If you allow their lack of recognition to define you, you hand them power over your identity. But if you choose instead to stand firm in the knowledge of your own worth, then their silence loses its grip. You no longer live for the spotlight, you live for the light inside you. There are countless stories of individuals who were overlooked for years before their talent was finally recognized. Writers whose manuscripts were rejected dozens of times, scientists whose discoveries were mocked, artists whose work was ignored. Were they worthless during the years of rejection? No. Their worth existed all along. It simply took time for others to see it. And here is the profound truth. Even if no one had ever recognized their contribution, their value as human beings remained untouched, because worth is not created by recognition. Recognition is fleeting, subjective, and inconsistent. Worth is steady, eternal, and unshakable. Consider a tree standing alone in a forest where no one passes by. It grows tall, spreads its branches, provides oxygen, and shelters birds. Whether or not a human being ever lays eyes on it, the tree has value. Its existence contributes to the world. It does not need applause to grow, it does not need validation to bear fruit, and it does not need attention to be meaningful. The same is true for you. You do not need someone else's gaze to justify your growth. You do not need an audience to legitimize your purpose. You do not need attention to be valuable. There is a freedom that comes when you stop seeking your reflection in the eyes of others, because eyes can lie, they can be distracted, they can overlook. But the truth of who you are does not live in their vision, it lives in your being. You were born valuable. Nothing you gain will increase it, nothing you lose will decrease it. Attention might amplify your platform, but it cannot amplify your worth. Think about how unstable life would be if worth were tied to attention. Today you might be celebrated, tomorrow you might be forgotten. Today people might cheer for you, tomorrow they might criticize you. If you let these fluctuations define your identity, you will ride a roller coaster of insecurity. But if you anchor your worth in something deeper, something unshakable, then applause becomes a bonus, not a necessity. Criticism becomes noise, not destruction. Attention becomes temporary, not essential. Often the people who give you the least attention are the ones least capable of recognizing your value. That says nothing about you and everything about them. Some are too busy, some are too blinded by their own insecurities, some simply lack the vision to see beyond the surface. Their attention, or lack of it, is not a verdict on your worth. It is merely a reflection of their perspective. And perspectives are limited. Worth is limitless. In fact, there is something powerful about being unnoticed. When no one is watching, you are free to grow without pressure. You are free to fail, to learn, to stumble, to rise again without the weight of expectation. Attention can be a spotlight, but it can also be a cage. The absence of attention can be a gift that allows you to prepare in silence for the moment when your voice must be heard. And when that moment comes, you will stand ready, not because the world has defined you, but because you have defined yourself. Let us not forget that attention is fickle. Crowds can cheer one day and disappear the next. People can celebrate your success and then forget your name. If your worth is built on their gaze, your identity will crumble when they look away. But if your worth is built on the truth of your being, on the substance of your heart, on the resilience of your spirit, then you will remain unshaken no matter where the spotlight turns. Your value does not come from the stage, it comes from the soul. Your worth is not measured by applause, but by authenticity. It is not in how many see you, but in how true you remain to yourself. Attention may come and go, but the light inside you shines whether or not anyone is looking. Remember the seed planted deep in the soil. For a long time it receives no attention. Buried under the earth, unseen, unnoticed, it begins to grow roots. Those roots dig deep, strengthening the plant for the day it will break through the surface. The absence of attention is not a sign of weakness. It is the very condition that allows strength to develop. When finally the plant emerges, it is ready to withstand storms because it grew strong in the dark. In the same way, your moments of being unseen are not wasted. They are preparation. Your value was there in the seed, even before anyone could see the plant. Your worth is not defined by attention. It is defined by existence. You are valuable because you are here, because you carry a purpose, because your life itself has meaning beyond what anyone else can measure. Stop measuring yourself by the inconsistent yardstick of recognition. Start living from the truth that you are already enough. Stop waiting for applause before you move. Stop waiting for attention before you act. Stop waiting for acknowledgement before you believe in yourself. When you truly embrace this truth, you are unstoppable. Because no silence can shake you, no dismissal can break you, no lack of attention can rob you of your identity. You become free to shine in your own way, in your own time, without needing permission. And in that freedom, you discover the greatest power of all, the ability to walk into any room, unnoticed or celebrated, and know that your worth has never changed. Pain is something every human being tries to avoid. We hide from it, we run from it, we numb it, and yet pain has a way of finding us no matter how far we go. It comes in different forms: rejection, betrayal, loss, failure, heartbreak, disappointment. And when it arrives, it feels like the world has turned against us. It feels unfair, cruel, and unbearable. But if you look closer, if you pay attention to the deeper truth of life, you will realize that pain, though it hurts, carries within it a hidden gift. Pain is not just suffering. Pain is a teacher, pain is a signal, pain is fuel for growth. Think about the moments in your life that shaped you the most. Were they the moments of comfort, ease, and pleasure, or were they the moments of challenge, struggle, and heartbreak? Growth rarely happens when life is easy. Growth comes when life is difficult, when you are pushed beyond your limits, when you are forced to rise from the ashes of something that tried to destroy you. Without pain, there would be no strength. Without struggle, there would be no progress. Without wounds, there would be no wisdom. Pain strips away illusions. It removes the masks we wear. It breaks down the false securities we hold on to, and it forces us to confront who we really are. When you go through pain, you discover resilience you never knew you had. You learn that you can survive what you thought would kill you. You find strength in places you never thought existed. Pain refines you like fire refines gold. It burns away what is unnecessary, what is weak, what is false, and leaves behind only what is pure, strong, and true. There is a reason muscles grow only when they are torn through exercise. That tearing, that microscopic damage, creates an opportunity for rebuilding. The body responds to that discomfort by growing stronger, bigger, more resilient. Pain is the stimulus for growth. In the same way, the struggles of life tear at our hearts, but in that tearing, we are given the opportunity to rebuild. We become wiser, tougher, and more compassionate because of the pain we have endured. When life hurts, it is not always a punishment. Sometimes it is preparation. The pain you feel today is equipping you for the battles of tomorrow. Every setback is planting seeds of resilience. Every disappointment is sharpening your vision. Every heartbreak is teaching you to love more deeply, more wisely, more carefully. You may not see it in the moment, but pain is sculpting you into someone greater than you were before. The greatest leaders, thinkers, and dreamers were all people who endured immense pain. They faced ridicule, failure, betrayal, and loss, and yet they used that pain as fuel. Instead of letting it break them, they let it build them. Instead of running from it, they leaned into it. They allowed the lessons hidden within their suffering to transform them. That is why their lives carry weight. That is why their words inspire, because they turned pain into power, and that power became the foundation of their growth. The truth is, pain is unavoidable. You cannot live a full life without encountering it, but you can choose what to do with it. Some people allow pain to make them bitter, to close their hearts, to shrink their dreams. Others allow pain to make them better, to open their hearts wider, to dream even bigger. The difference is not in the pain itself, but in the response. Pain will come, but whether it destroys you or develops you is up to you. Consider the seed that must crack open before it can grow. That cracking is painful. The seed's shell is broken, its comfort is destroyed, its world is shattered. But without that breaking, no plant could ever emerge. Pain is the breaking that allows new life to grow. Without the shattering of what is, there can be no becoming of what will be. In your life, every heartbreak, every failure, every disappointment is the cracking of the seed. It feels like destruction, but it is actually transformation. When you feel pain, remind yourself that it is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of a new chapter. Every scar on your body or soul tells a story, not of defeat, but of survival. Scars are proof that pain came, but it did not conquer you. They are reminders that you walked through the fire and came out stronger. They are evidence that pain fueled your growth instead of stealing your spirit. Even in nature, the most beautiful landscapes are formed through struggle. Mountains are created by the crushing of tectonic plates. Diamonds are formed under extreme pressure. Pearls are born from irritation inside a shell. The beauty and strength we admire in these things exist only because of the pain and pressure that created them. So why would human beings be any different? Your beauty, your strength, your depth of character are being shaped by the pressures you endure. Pain also teaches empathy. When you have suffered, you understand the suffering of others in a way you never could have before. You become kinder, more patient, more compassionate. Your own wounds give you the ability to heal others. Your own tears give you the ability to comfort others. In this way, pain connects us. It creates bonds of understanding that no words alone could create. Pain is the thread that weaves humanity together, and through it, we grow not just individually, but collectively. Do not waste your pain. If you treat it only as an enemy, you will miss its lessons. But if you see it as a teacher, you will find wisdom hidden within it. Ask yourself, what is this pain trying to teach me? What strength is it trying to build? What direction is it trying to push me toward? Every pain carries a purpose. The challenge is to look beyond the suffering and see the seed of growth it contains. Yes, pain hurts. It will make you cry, it will make you doubt. It will make you feel like giving up. But it will also push you to rise higher than you ever thought possible. It will force you to let go of what no longer serves you. It will remind you that you are stronger than your circumstances. It will teach you resilience, patience, humility, and courage. Pain, when embraced, becomes the greatest motivator, the most faithful coach, and the most honest guide. When life knocks you down, when everything you thought was secure collapses, when the people you trusted walk away, when the dreams you built crumble before your eyes, remember that this is not the end. This is the moment where pain is doing its deepest work. It is hollowing out space inside you so that something greater can grow. It is stripping away the unnecessary so that your true strength can be revealed. It is not destroying you, it is building you. Every champion has a story of pain. Every success has a history of struggle. Every strong soul has endured storms that nearly broke them. What separates those who rise from those who fall is not the absence of pain, but the choice to use it. Pain can be your prison, or it can be your fuel. If you choose the latter, nothing can stop you. The next time pain enters your life, don't run from it, don't numb it, don't pretend it doesn't exist. Face it, feel it, learn from it, and then use it. Let it drive you to work harder, to love deeper, to live more fully. Let it be the fire that forges your strength. Let it be the wind that lifts your wings. Let it be the fuel that powers your growth.